At a pro-democracy protest on the Great Courts of the University of Queensland, an international student who goes by the pseudonym Bonnie Wong was acutely aware of a group of people watching on from the sidelines.
There are always people wandering around and they look a little bit suspicious, and I actually highly suspect that they are Chinese nationalists because sometimes they actually take pictures of us.
It was one of a number of protests that Bonnie had helped organise. Often, she says, those pictures end up online.
To publicly defame us and actually trying to expose our identity, saying that we are Chinese separatists and we are destroying the safety of China.
A new report by Human Rights Watch has collected stories of harassment and intimidation experienced by pro-democracy students and China-focused academics living in Australia. It's found that surveillance, or the fear of surveillance by the CCP and its sympathisers, is widespread and leading to significant self-censorship. Human Rights Watch was able to verify 3 instances in which students had their families back in China visited or questioned by police.
It's not just fear, it actually does result in really horrible personal consequences for students. Everyone hears about those incidents within that community, and then that has this wider, chilling effect, which stops other people from speaking out or saying what they think.
Bonnie says her friend, a Uyghur and fellow pro-democracy activist, experienced serious consequences for helping organise a protest.
He received a video phone call from the CCP agents, and in the video call it's very sad that his mom is being sent to the concentration camp, threatening him not to do anything anymore against the Chinese Communist Party. And this can happen to anyone at any time.
More than half of the 24 students interviewed said they hadn't reported their concerns to the university. Some said they believe the institutions are more concerned about maintaining a good relationship with China than safeguarding freedom of speech. For academics, self-censorship was also a big issue.
Academics who said, I just don't talk about China anymore. I don't want it to be doxed if I say something incorrectly, have my personal information shared without my consent online. I don't want there to be a backlash from my university if I speak out.
One academic said they worried that if they complained about a pro-CCP student's behaviour, the university wouldn't defend them due to its reliance on international student fees. Human Rights Watch says universities need to properly acknowledge and address the situation, which it says is only getting worse.
I thought Australia is a country that supports free speech and supports freedom, human rights and democracy, but they actually fail to stand up against those, stand up for those values.
There aren't international students arriving because of COVID. Things are not going to go back to the way they were with, the Australia-China relationship. So it's the perfect time to reset and change your policies so that moving into the future, all Chinese students feel safe and protected here in Australia, and hopefully will increasingly be able to express their opinions and thoughts whilst here in this country.
Yon, is there anything in this report that surprises you? Yon?
No, this...
Yes.
Sorry. This is quite a well-known issue for a while now. I also wrote a report on this issue a few years back. Unfortunately, with the polarizing debate in Australia about China, we're seeing a lot of people getting agitated. There are nationalists from Chinese pro-CCP nationalists that think that they can just harass and intimidate other students, and they feel empowered to do so.
Do you feel like it's getting worse?
I feel like it is not getting worse right now, just simply because a lot of international students are actually not here because of COVID. So in that sense, the opportunity to act is less.
So what can Australia do to stop people being harassed in universities here?
Yeah, so first we should acknowledge that freedom of speech and academic freedom are paramount values for the Australian society as well as Australian universities. And protecting the safety and well-being of students and staff should be a top priority. So we should encourage people to express themselves, and we should encourage them to take advantage of freedom of speech. And that includes both, pro-CCP views and anti-CCP views and the range of views in between. But we should really be cracking down on intimidation and harassment and really take seriously the issue of doxing, that is the release of personal information online or the report to embassies about what's happening in classroom discussions and online harassment. Law enforcement agencies really need to take this issue seriously. And for universities, they also need to have strict disciplinary measures, including expulsion of students who report other students to embassies.